Another disappointing loss. That's clear. Another game similar to the Palace game, although the game was completely different because the playing style of both teams are completely different, but not similar to the Palace game, where in the first half I think we played not our best football, but still were able to create 3 big chances. They've only had 1 and they've immediately scored it, which was completely different to the Palace game, where Palace created a lot of chances in the first half. And the second half performance, like in Palace, I liked. We've created more than enough chances to score more than 1 goal last week and today. And when we did, I think there was a period of the game where I felt now we're going to win it. We came a lot of times very close with chances, but also with moments where we had a 4 versus 3 in our favor, not outplaying it well enough in the last pass, but and in the last 10 minutes it was an end-to-end game. Both teams could have won it, and we didn't, and Chelsea did.
Any complaints on the penalties? You and your the penalty appeals. I think there was the Szoboszlai one. There was one in the first half and in the second half. Your bench and you were protesting to the referee.
I think you mean in the second.
The Reece James.
The second half when Alex tried to go for the ball and he felt an arm in his head. Yeah, unfortunately we don't play Champions League because this week in the Champions League there was a penalty. But we play Premier League and there are different standards, so we can't complain about that. It's I haven't seen it back, by the way, but if the ref and the VR says it's allowed, then it's allowed. So, you always feel a bit. Frustrated, maybe that's the right word, if you've conceded a penalty like this during the week, but that's not fair because that's 2 different competitions.
Hi Anna, is it fair to say you're still searching for balance? It seems to be like you're creating chances, but there's maybe gaps in midfield, and Chelsea could play through you at times. Is there still maybe gaps that are emerging because the players don't have connections or new ones?
Yeah, but I think if you play the style we play, so a high press, and the style Chelsea plays, a high press, it would be a complete surprise if both teams, with the quality that both teams have, that they never play through your press. So that would be unrealistic. So you go here to Stamford Bridge with them having 8 injuries. So you're like, this can be positive. Then probably they don't have the options from the bench, but they did still have a few good options from the bench to impact the game. So it would be unrealistic to expect that if you play Chelsea that want to play out from the back, that they never play through your press, as we played through their press as well.
Do you think that Alexander Isak and Mo Salah are building a connection? The front 3 maybe didn't always connect at times, especially in the first half?
The more they play together, the more they will connect. But the first half, what we had to do better, and I think that's what you saw in the second half. Already a little bit from the start, but especially after I had to take Konate off because he felt his quad. When Ryan started to play in that position, we were able to get our attackers much more in promising situations, much more than the first half. So for me, it wasn't the disconnection or the time we need for the forwards to do better. I think the first half was mainly that we had to do better in build-up. And that's what we did. More and more in the second half, and that's why we created also so many good moments, chances, and moments that we could have created much more.
Arne, obviously when you lose, there's going to be much more focus on all the changes in the summer, the new attackers. But I mean, how close do you have this team to what you wanted, to your ideal image of it?
I think you're never close to your ideal. You have to work really hard to reach a certain level, and then it's very hard in football because you also play against very good teams to keep that level in going, and what I mean with that is consistency. So, but it's clear that we had our changes in the summer. Players came in different moments. Last week there's hardly been any training time, and still we need to try to bring these players in. And if the result would have been better today with a draw or a win, which was both possible. I don't say we deserved it. A draw we definitely deserved, but then we would have had a great start to the season if you take into account everything that what happened in the summer in Liverpool.
Can you tell us what happened to Konate, and is it a big injury?
I don't know if it's a big injury, but what I do know is that he limped. Is that the right English word? A little bit. And when I asked him, he said, "Yeah, I feel my quad a little bit." I said, "Okay." But then for me, all alarm bells go off because in another sprint, then you never know if that is going to go good. Is that the way to say it? So it was already also a substitution that I had in mind, maybe for a few minutes later or a little bit later, because the right centre back had a lot of ball possession, and we needed to create from that position, and we all know that Ryan is quite good in that. So yeah, it might be okay that he went off early enough, but it was clear that I had to take him off because he was limping.
One here, then last one here.
Hi Arne. Talking about your defense, Konate and Van Dijk obviously have been playing very much these games against him. Konate has been injured now. How do you think you can rotate more the centre backs?
How you can do this? That's not so easy to put someone else in. That's the way to rotate. But yeah, if I rotate against Galatasaray, people complain that I rotate. It is a risk of playing. We were just talking about Konate. He's playing 3 games now in 7 or 8 days with 4.5 hour flight up and down. So yeah, that's true. But yeah, that is the balance you need to find. Playing a tough game against Palace that play only long balls, and every ball, every corner kick is dangerous. So you need long and strong defenders. And I think if you play Chelsea away, you also need 2 centre backs. But when we were 0-0 down, I took the risk, if you want to call it like this, to play with a midfielder as a centre back.
Hi
Arne, I know you mentioned in midweek about resting Mo Salah and the minutes he's had, but today he seemed to snatch at a couple of chances. Do you think the team are kind of missing that clinical cutting edge from him in this sort of moment? Yeah,
now that's then interesting. So did he create today so much because he didn't play during the week, or did he miss the chances because he missed a bit of sharpness that he could have had if he would have played against Galatasaray? We will never know. What I like is that we brought him many times in the position he would like to be in, and I would like him to be in, because he's shown in his career and since I'm here that in those positions he can score goals. And I think today he had many opportunities to do what he's done so often, but yeah, he's a human being, and it's not like every chance he gets is always a goal. We feel sometimes it is because what he's done last season and so many times, but yeah, he can also have a game where he has where he has chances and a lot of times in promising positions and don't have a goal or an assist.